Howdy, y'all. My name is ChucklesTC, and welcome back to my World of Outlaws 23 career mode, where today we're headed to Prairie View. So let me go ahead and adjust this. And let's hop into the race. We're searching to get back into Victory Lane. Okay, now we're loaded in here at Prairie View. Let's hop straight into practice. Where if we beat our goal time, we're only going to run like one lap of practice. I raced here earlier in the day in the local series, so I sort of know what to expect from a race here. And yeah, okay, we're going to run this lap more. That's where we'll end it. I'm not sure why I hit pause recording there instead of exiting back to the main menu. But now we hop into qualifying. Okay, now we start our first timed lap. We wash out into the wall there. Pretty slow lap there. Now we'll come through and qualify fifth. Really slow. Not really slow. We did have quite a bit of damage, but not what we wanted. Now the best we can start in the qualifying dash is fifth. Let's hop straight into it. Okay. And there we set a really good lap that we needed during qualifying. And we were consistently getting better throughout the race. We finished, I'm not sure if you saw that flash of the lap change. Our final lap was a 8.825. Every single lap we got better, and now we head into the qualifying dash. We step out there a bit with our car, 3 laps to go, sitting in third. Two laps to go, still in third, and we wash out into the wall. So as we start the final lap here, we may be able to catch up to one of these guys, but it doesn't look like it. As we struggle here in the qualifying dash to our standards, we were just hitting walls and drifting around. We're going to be starting third in the A main. Let's hop straight into it. So hopefully we'll only have to deal with a bit of moving around on this first lap. Hopefully we can make up positions and be able to run our fast lane. And we will. We'll get up to second after the opening lap. Now we'll take the lead on lap 3. And there was at a really good lap, an 8.777. Having to run a bit of a wide lane through there to get around the traffic. And this is one of the few tracks that having a tow, being behind these cars, getting the draft, does not really help your speed. But there we do set a new fastest lap ever at this track with an 8.729. 10 laps ago, we've lapped everyone up to P16, which is Krupp, who's given us a bit of challenge, but we'll get by him. Now look to set up on Walker. And did he go around? I think he did. No, he did not. Caution will not fly, but that was a pretty slow lap. And that's allowed second place to stay close, getting it back under a second. Five more laps remain here from Prairie View. And we give back the lap to P14. And on this final lap, we break into the top 10. We will. Everyone inside the top 10 is a lap, or everyone outside the top 10, including 10th, is a lap down at the end of the race. And we win again. Back to victory lane. I'll cut back to you guys on the main menu. Okay, loaded back here on the main menu. We win again. And earlier today, in my local series race, I had my 25th career win. So now let's repair the car. Let's head to the season finale of the Street Stocks. Where we're going to upgrade our chassis heading into the race and be able to put a couple upgrades on that before heading there. Actually, we should be able to fully upgrade it. Yeah. So that's a good sign. Now, how much is the engine on this thing? Jeez. 119, that isn't too bad, actually. Now let's head into the showcase for the final race of the season at Knoxville Raceway. Okay, now we're here at this old horse racing track. Let's get to race car racing. In next episode, that means we're going to be starting our national series. And I'm not really sure what to expect out of that in this car. We've started to have success here in the regionals, and I wouldn't be all too surprised if I'm able to pull out a championship next season on my own when I'm doing these. And the reason I do those races is first as a bit of a warm up heading into these races. Um, Second, I get to still play the game and enjoy it when I'm not recording. Not that I don't enjoy it when I am recording. In third, it gets me more money to spend on upgrades. And when I race in the actual races, yes, sometimes I beat up a car, but I usually get a pretty good finish, or better than the AI would have. And if I win, it doesn't hurt my win percentage, because AI, to my experience, has never won, or never really had all too great of a finish. So we're gonna do one more lap here at practice. Really long lap. But on our first lap out, we were able to beat our goal time for, I believe, a top 15. About to see once we cross the line and then we head on to qualifying, we'll be able to see what our goal was. We were fastest on our first lap and progressively got slower. And our goal, sorry, cut out there for a second. My personal goal, though, is a top 10 because that gets us the new sponsor heading into the National Series. It'd be cool to have a new thing on the car, but I think it's another red sponsor, which means we might just switch around the schemes, or maybe we could change our secondary color. It's black right now because of our main sponsor, Bricknail, and then red because of Toyota and uh, Wind Tires. Won't quite do it there on our first lap. It's a rough goal to meet. An 18.770 is a fast lap around here. We're going to be starting 27th. As of now, obviously, we had to go to Heat 3. We're starting P5. Maybe we can make up 2 positions. So sorry. It's unlikely to get anything more out of it. Oh, we get into the wall. We're not going to be able to catch up there to get into the top 3. So we drop down to P6. A really bad first lap here creates a huge gap to the top 4. Get into Fisher a bit there. Now we wash high through the corner. He'll hold on to it for now. So I get back into him again. I stay out of him there through the corner and on the back stretch, and I cleanly make the pass, at least for now. While I open up the bottom, I'm able to cover it off. My goodness, hold on a second. So sorry about that. So we start the white flag lap here. It's a 7-second gap up to first in these 5 laps. It's going to be a challenge here to make the A main, let alone finish top 15. But I think once we're in the race in the A main, we'll have a better shot about climbing our way through the field. But we're going to be headed to the B main first, and we're going to be starting way back in P9. That isn't awful. That isn't great either. It's time for the B main. And we're green here. Barnes has contact there with Robinson. as we're drafting off of Robinson to get up into the top five. Now, with 8 laps to go, we're tracking down the leader of Ricky Cox. And we'll tuck him behind Jesse Wright. Through the corner, we take a really weird lane there, and we'll lose some time to both of them. Not being able to clear Jesse right now is my biggest issue. Once I'm clear of him, setting up on Cox should be no issue. But when we exit side by side, we're forced to take a really low lane and stick with it through the corner. And he's going to get way clear of us here because I just got stuck up on that apron. While shouting Erickson there, put him into the wall. Halfway through this race now, we're still sitting back in P3 in the transfer spot, but we know we have more in it. And here we showed as we're getting back on right. And now we exit back onto the apron. And we keep doing it. I know I need to run a bit higher. And there we do a better job of it. Two more laps remain. We close the half a second gap on right through that corner. We're side by side with him. Give him a little tap to the left rear fender. And we exit side by side with him. Looking up track to Cox. We close down. We almost had contact there with him on the corner exit. We run up on that apron a bit. Side by side down the back straightaway. We get side by side in the corner, but he gets a better exit. And we finish P2, our front bumper on his rear. Let's take a look at that finish. I mean, that's going across the line. I was trying to give him a bit of a hook. But maybe if I stuck it up top, I would have been able to get clear. Now it's headed to the A main. Okay, now time to get racing here. For a long 25 lap race here around Knoxville for this season finale. Brewster's your championship leader, but I don't see him up front unless for some reason his number font changed. I'm pretty sure he's in the 18. The leaderboard, or the two cars in front and behind us, is in the top left. We're still being forced to take that apron around most of the time. We almost turn around Cam Jurgens there, and I realized the difference between Cam and Brandon Jurgens. They both race the number 19 in a very, very similar, if not exactly the same font. Cam is in the black, Brandon's in the red. And hopefully I'll be able to catch up to Brandon Jurgens here during this one. I think that's him up there. Back into the wall. I don't know what happened there. And this would be a 50 lap, 100% race. We're obviously doing 50%, as you saw earlier in the video. Me getting it back up there. That's just wild to say to me. And we're slowly closing in here on Carson Baden top. We should be able to get him here through this corner. And there's Brandon Jurens in front of me. And now you see the difference. And we pass Brandon Jurens and now look upfield to Tanner Baden top. And if I remember correctly, Heath Brewster has about a 50-point lead. And I haven't seen him yet, but well, he's running up in 10th. So unless something seriously goes wrong with him, and I don't even think that, well, in the second place car has to win the race, really. And he'd have to finish last in the A main, but I don't think that's a 50-point gap back from first in the A main to 23rd in the A main. And he's absolutely dominated this season, especially the early part of it. Okay, now we're up into P11, trying to close in on Brewster to get us into that top 10. And we are halfway through this race now with 12 laps remaining. But Brewster's able to keep a pretty steady gap of around 1.2 seconds. We cut into it a bit there. 10 laps remain here from Knoxville, and we have a really bad exit and a really bad corner in general there. The lead goes back up to a full second. And that leader is just lapping cars left and right. So I'm sure Brewster has more raw pace than me. But in this long run, we're just able to hawk down cars. As we're nearing the end of this one, the leaders lap most of the field. There's only a couple of cars in between him and myself. But more importantly, here we're closing in on Brewster. I don't care if we finish the lap down as long as we're in the top 10. After trailing the same car for so long, I mean, from 10 to go, and next time by, we're going to take 5 to go. So for the past 5 laps at least, we've been trailing Brewster. But now coming to 5 to go, we are in a battle for P10. We're side by side exiting 3 and 4, and we will be in P11 when we take the line. And we're forced to take a really bad line there on the apron. And Brewster takes a switch up on us. And that's narrowed the gap for Brandon Jurens to the rear of us. And it appears that Jurens is the next car to get lapped, but he's a half second, less than a half second behind us. But the same gap between ourselves and Brewster was the gap between ourselves and Jurens. We're side by side with Brewster on the corner exit, and we'll get past him for P10. And coming to the line, it is 2 to go here from Knoxville. Can we hold on to our position? And we're looking to put a car lap down now to ourselves of Robinson. And we started in P20. And now P23 is a lap down to us, and he's about to go 2 laps down if he's not careful. It's a full second back to Brewster. And we're going to come through, finish P10 in the championship finale, and Brewster will win the championship. If I'm not mistaken, at least. We finished 11th in the season standings with 3 wins on our season. Jeremy Cross beats us out by 12 points. And winning the championship was Heath Brewster with 7 wins on his season. Tiernan did not have what it takes to get it in winning the race. Was it Vaden Top? I don't even know. But Brewster wins the championship with a 54-point gap. As Tiernan comes through and finishes 9th. Now I'll load back to you guys on the main menu. Okay, loaded back here on the main menu. We met our goal. And we're going to go with this brand new sponsor of K1 Race Gear. And now, once it's done loading up the new sponsor into the car, we're going to be headed to the midgets. And there's a quick overview of our season. Really low point in Showcase 3. We finished in last at Kokomo. And that, I think, is what screwed us over the most. Showcases were a struggle for us earlier in the season with the 27th and the 22nd, then the 60th. Then in the last one, we finally finished 10th. We won back-to-back races in race 25 and 26. And we claimed our first regional series win in race 22. So it was a really good stretch there in those final 8-9 races since we had our 60th place finish. Now we head to the National Series where we are going to be racing at Lincoln Speedway in the midgets. So let's hop into it for our final race before the showcase. Okay, now as we're loaded in for Lincoln, let's hop into practice. We've raced here before. Our record is a 14.429. Our goal is a 15.463. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, here we've had some issues with smacking the inside wall, not just there, but like in the past, because of how far out it is to the racing line. And there we go through and set a brand new record lap. We're going to run maybe 2 more laps of qualifying or practice here before we head to qualifying. And there we set an even faster lap. And maybe today, if the sun, or as long as it doesn't stay a day race, we should be able to break 14 seconds. Okay, this is going to be our last lap of practice here. Okay, now let's head into qualies. Okay, time for qualifying. And there we beat our goal time, but it wasn't very close to our record lap, about 3/10 off. And we qualified P23. It's heading to Heat 3, starting from 5th position. And we're ready to go green here. And we're lifted up into the wall. No caution will fly for it as we're down in the P10. Three laps to go around here. And we're struggling a lot. We have the pace. Just after that early uh, space launch. And yeah, I think it's going to stay daytime here in Lincoln, so that's not great for us. Final lap underway here. And we have huge contact with the inside wall. No idea what happened there. Caution won't fly. We drop down to last. And we're going to be starting in the C or D main in P3 or P8 to the D main now. We should easily be able to go and win the D main. And we go from 8th to 1st on the opening lap, but a caution comes out. We just need to race better in the heats. 5 more laps around here. Three more times around, we hit the wall in the same spot we did in the heat. Caution flies for it this time, as we're still in the lead. Now a bit more vulnerable to Campbell. And it's a not overtime green white checkered. And I guess it is going to be a night race here. Which could be good if we, we're going to end up racing in the A main, but I don't think we will today. I think it's going to be another B main exit at best. Because we're going to come around here to take the D main win, head into the C main, starting way back in the pack in P11. Okay, we are underway here for this C main. We drop down to last. I don't know what's going on, bro. Caution does not fly for whatever that was. We're gonna finish last in the C main as it stands right now. Never mind, a car flips. We're gonna get a restart, thankfully, which gives us an opportunity to make up some positions. But I'm not sure why they've been so stingy on throwing that yellow. I got airborne multiple times so far today in this race, and nothing. Three laps, sprint to the end. So now we've broken through into the top 10. And we spin out Walker. We're going to have a restart here. We're up into P5. So in one lap, we go from 15th to P5. And now we're looking to get a little bit more. Now Rauschenberg and Robbie battling for P1. We're going to tuck in and make it a 3 wide battle, but Rauschenberg is going to get it. We're going to try and get around Robbins. Unable to get the move. I wanted the bottom. We're going to come through and finish third, and we're headed to the B main starting in P13. Now here for the B main. And we have a restart. We're up into P10. And we get around Rauschenberg and Robbins there. But back on the outside lane once again. Oh wait, no, we weren't on the outside lane for the original start, were we? Yeah, we were on the inside. And we may be able to make our way up here into the A main. We are now up into the transfer position. And we're up into P2 with 5 laps remaining. We might be tracking down Barnhill. And man, I hope that we are able to pull out an amazing day in the A main now. Like a truly like record shattering day. I've never wanted to win more in the midgets than I have now, and I did finally break through and win in the local series today. I mean, 2 laps to go. We're likely not going to catch up to Barnhill here. So we've started the final lap here. We're going to settle for P2. And now we head on to the A main. Okay, time for the A main. Starting back here in P20 or 2, P22, not P21. And we hold on to P22 coming across the line for the completion of the first lap, but there will be a caution. And we drop down a position to P23, but we get the inside lane here. Now, foot to the floor. We're coming through. We turn Whitley. We're lifted up into the wall. We drop down to last place. I think we've been in last in every single main that we ran in and in our heat. Bursley, the car in front of us. Just want a good solid top 20 finish here. Ten more laps remain. Barnhill still blocking us from that position of P22. Got stuck on Barnhill's rear there. Accidentally flipped the camera around. That was scary for a second. Still unable to get around Barnhill. 5 laps remain. As Barnhill flips the car in front of him, we're able to move up to P20 first with that mistake. Now restarting from P21. And it's 3 laps to go here. From Lincoln, Barnhill back to our inside. I could taste the top 20. But now we're having to get around Edie and Barnhill for it. And we get it done there. But is that Barnhill challenging me down again? Or is that Edie? It was Edie, but now Barnhill follows him through. We're going to lift up Barnhill. We take the white flag. We're bouncing around. We punt Edie out of the way. Now we try to set up on Barnhill through the final corner. We go low. We go too low. We hit the wall. We hit Barnhill now. We're turning Barnhill. He's turning across the line. We get P20. Barnhill wrecks. Where does he finish the race? Barnhill finishes in 21st. Oh. Okay, now let's get loaded back up to the main menu. Finish P20. And Buddy Crawford is your race winner. Here's your point standings. Zach Doom in the lead. But it's a tight battle up near the top. Now we get loaded back to the main menu. Loaded back here on the main menu. We finished P20 overall, like I said. In next episode, we're going to be headed to the showcase at Dangerous Impact collision caused by ChucklesTC Clown leaves spectators shocked. That's just short track racing for you. That's all I got to say. Next episode, we're headed to the Fairbird Showcase. That's a great track for us to head to. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and come back next episode for that. Thank you all. Goodbye.